I used to think that the way to be a good mom was to keep giving until I had nothing left to give and then give some more. Like, that was the cycle. And now I take breaks quite regularly, actually. And not only do I not feel guilty about it, but I can confidently say it makes me a better mom. And I'm so grateful for that. Derek has been working late, just more than usual. So I've been doing solo bedtime here and there, which isn't the norm. And yesterday was just one of those days where I was just maxed out. You know, it was just kind of one of those times where the kids are fighting a little more than usual. Maybe the house feels dirtier than usual. I'm not really sure what exactly happens. Or it just builds up over time. Tell me in the comments if you've experienced this. That I was so ready for a break. Dinner was on the table. He was home for dinner. We ate dinner. And like halfway through dinner, it just hit me. Like, okay, I think today's a day that it will be best for everybody for me to just take a little break. And so I did. Our pattern has usually been we each take a night off, sometimes every week. It ebbs and flows. We haven't been doing it lately. But for a while there, I think there was just a lot going on. I think Derek had house projects he was wanting to work on. I had other things. Like, it was just kind of a busier time. And so we had decided, okay, we'll both take a night off, basically. A night off of bedtime duty is basically what it was. And it turned into this really fun thing that the kids actually really loved and looked forward to. We do bedtime all together, usually. And one night a week, it would be Mom's night. One night a week, it would be Derek's night. And it worked out so well because those nights looked different than normal and the kids enjoyed that. It became the one night that I would lay with them when I tucked them in, right? Like, just certain little special things. And more importantly, it gave each of us a little bit of a breather, a little bit more buffer in our weeks. Because it's hard. It's hard to fit stuff in. It's hard to feel like you can go and do anything. I have certain friends that I really like to go spend time with, and it gets tricky. Like, where would I even fit that in? And so it became this tradition or routine that we would look at the calendar for the week and each pick our night. So anyway, we have not been doing that lately, but it just was one of those nights last night where it's like, okay, I haven't taken a night for quite a while because I haven't needed to. It's just not what we've been doing. But last night it was. And I just was so grateful to Derek, so grateful to the kids, right? Kind of for allowing me to do that. And then I was able to really recharge. That's really what it was. Kind of refill up the tank, be ready to keep going for the week, you know? Go, feels like that bird is following me. Anyway, it was great. And the guilt part comes into play for all of us, right? Why don't we take time off for ourselves? Why don't we take breaks? Because maybe you're thinking, I have never done that. I never take breaks. I don't feel like I can. Or I go to do it and then I feel so guilty, because that is the message we get a lot from culture, I would say. Maybe from wherever, your parents, society. It sends us a lot of messages. Like, if mom ain't happy, nobody happy, right? That is a message that says, if we're not happy, nobody can be happy, which means we're carrying everyone's emotions all the time. Or kind of the message of, oh, that's so nice for dad to help out, as if he's doing you a favor, right? Which tells us it is solely our responsibility. I don't know, there's a lot of messages we get that we have to sift through and realize, okay, no wonder I feel like I can't take a break ever, but I'm just going to decide to change that. And that's what I did. I recognize all those thoughts that were kind of holding me back of oh, but I should be with my kids, or a good mom doesn't need breaks. We say that enough times, it becomes a solid belief that we truly do believe wholeheartedly. And we have to put forth a lot of effort to get past the guilt and to recognize, okay, there is clean guilt that sometimes we experience in our life. That's God nudging us to repent. That's the Spirit reminding us, no, like your actions aren't aligning with your values. But then there's dirty guilt. That's really just our mind getting in the way and telling us all kinds of stories and creating so much drama. And we confuse that into feeling like, oh, that means something's wrong. If I'm feeling guilty, that means something's wrong. But that's not the case. And I would argue most of the time it's not the case. Because we are trying. We are showing up for our family day after day after day. And us taking a break or needing to rest has nothing to do with how good of a mom we are or not. It doesn't mean we're neglecting our responsibilities. It means that we're human. It means that we are listening to those God-given limitations and the capacity that He gave us, and we're being a good steward over that. And that dirty guilt is just trying to make you feel bad. It makes us feel a lot of shame, usually. But if you can recognize, like, no, this is dirty guilt. This isn't coming from God. This doesn't help me be more Christ-like, let's say. I value serving my family. And I do that constantly. And I need to value my own health, my own wellness. And those things matter too. And that's just running an old program. That's what our brains do, right? They're trying to keep us safe. They're trying to save us energy. We're very grateful for that. And it can cause us some problems when we get a little bit lost in the sauce, feeling like, oh, but this is so true. A good mom doesn't take a break. And here I am taking a break. I'm a horrible person. But we can stop that mental loop and decide something different. And that's where, kind of a new thought might be helpful. I'm trying to think what I tell myself. I think I probably do tell myself a good mom takes breaks. Like, all moms need a break. Or this is me choosing to serve my family even better. Because that's true to me. Maybe that's too big of a stretch for you for now. If you've never taken a break, you're going to need to ease into it and see what's something my brain really does believe. Because we have to believe what we're trying to tell ourselves. And just sympathize. Yeah, it totally makes sense why you would think that. It totally makes sense that you would think that only terrible moms need breaks from her kids. That's okay. It can hang out. It can be there. It's going to be there. Those thoughts we've been practicing for a really, really long time. But we can choose into something different and really unlock a whole new world of thoughts and feelings to get to a point where that desire to serve our family, that desire to always be available to them, breaks are what allow you to do that. And you're not putting them in a bad situation. They're not paying the price for you to take a break. They're having an opportunity to grow and learn, right? Maybe dad does things differently. That's okay. That's good for everybody. Maybe they don't love that babysitter. That's okay. It doesn't have to be this ideal situation. And we don't want to allow ourselves to kind of overreact and be dramatic, right? All that drama. To just understand there's a bigger picture here. And we can see that bigger picture. The need for them to be without me for the night, let's say. So that I can keep doing what I do, which is so important. It's such important work that we do. And just like any job, you have to be able to clock out sometimes. You have to be able to take a breath, do something for you. My husband is so great because he points it out more than I do. A lot of times I don't even notice it, and he does. To basically say, you don't you don't get to leave work and go home, let's say, because home is work. And so as moms, it's really easy to just see all the work that has to be done or all the needs. So, if it's an option for you, and I know some moms I work with will say that, like, I just can't really take a break or rest if I'm home, because it's just so hard. It's so hard to feel like you're detaching from that a little bit. It's hard to train everybody that now's not the time to come and ask mom, right? Like, go ask dad. It can be tricky, but that's not to say you have to get out of the house. I've learned, it's taken me a long time to practice, but I have learned things to implement to help home be a place of rest. And you get to pick the path, right? You get to choose where you want to start. If it's easier to just start with 5 minutes with the bathroom door closed and you're taking a little break, that's a perfect place to start. And that's where it did start for me. It's not always a great option, or an option, period, to leave the kids with somebody or have them be watched by somebody, or maybe your spouse isn't around. There still are huge potential options to implement breaks into your day, but I would just so recommend it. I would love to hear in the comments how you take breaks, because I think it's just not something we are talking enough about as moms, and we think that nobody is taking breaks when really we all desperately need breaks. And it doesn't matter what other people do. It doesn't matter what works for them. This isn't me saying, oh, this is so working for me and you should do it too. You find your own way, because your way is going to be beautiful and perfect for you and for your family. So don't mother like me, just mother like you.